A $1 bottle of household hydrogen peroxide can brighten a gray grout line, lift selected stains, and cut certain odors. But the same bottle can also irritate tissue, damage fabric, or create a dangerous mistake when a viral hack crosses into the body. Today we're counting down 10 hydrogen peroxide uses that work, followed by 7 you should skip. The biggest money saver is simple: check the label before you pour. So, let's get into it. Number 10. Brighten stained grout. Gray grout doesn't always mean the tile is ruined. A small amount of ordinary 3% hydrogen peroxide may visibly lighten some organic stains, including mildew-like discoloration, food residue, and biofilm. It won't restore every grout line, and it won't fix rust, mineral deposits, deep dye changes, or grout that needs replacement. For a test batch, mix 2 parts baking soda with 1 part 3% hydrogen peroxide. Apply a thin layer to white or light-colored, fully cured cement grout. Let it sit for 5 to 15 minutes, and don't let it dry. Scrub gently with a soft nylon brush, rinse with clean water, and dry the area. Peroxide works here because it oxidizes some of the colored organic compounds. The result is brightening, not magic. A viewer comment attributed to Hannah Brooks described significant improvement on grout stains, but that's an anecdote, not a controlled cleaning trial. Patch test first, especially on colored grout. Peroxide can fade pigment, leave a blotchy finish, or affect some sealers. Number 9. Clean selected bathroom surfaces. Soap scum and organic residue can cling to a porcelain sink or glazed ceramic fixture after a regular wipe. A dry paper towel won't remove the film, and a quick spray and wipe shouldn't be called disinfection. First, clean the surface with detergent and water. Then apply 3% peroxide to suitable glazed ceramic, porcelain, glass, or a compatible stainless steel fixture. Keep the surface visibly wet for 5 to 10 minutes, wipe with a clean cloth, and rinse if the product label or surface instructions call for it. Ventilate the bathroom and wear gloves if splashing is possible. The oxidizing action helps break down some organic residue, but material compatibility still matters. Skip natural stone, unfinished wood, painted finishes, brass, copper, aluminum, and screens. A cheap liquid isn't cheap if it dulls a countertop. Number 8. Refresh hard plastic boards. A plastic cutting board can hold dark food stains and a sour smell even after the visible crumbs are gone. Dish soap removes soil, but it doesn't replace a sanitizer, and peroxide from a brown bottle isn't automatically an EPA-registered disinfectant for every organism. Scrub the board with detergent and water first. Apply 3% peroxide to the clean, hard plastic surface. Leave it visibly wet for the time stated on the product label. If there's no applicable disinfecting label, treat this as a cleaning step, not a validated pathogen claim. Wipe or rinse the board with clean water before food touches it. Pre-cleaning matters because dirt and food residue can reduce disinfectant performance. The same rule applies to refrigerator liners and other hard plastic interiors. Use one product at a time. Rinse away the first cleaner before changing products. No chemical cocktail belongs on a cutting board. Number 7. Clean a non-porous trash can. A plastic trash can can keep the smell of food scraps long after the bag is gone. Air freshener may temporarily mask the smell. Peroxide can help reduce some odor-producing organic residue on compatible, non-porous plastic. Empty the can and wash it with detergent and water. Apply 3% peroxide to the inside. Keep the surface wet for 5 minutes. Wipe it clean, rinse with water, and let it dry completely before adding a new liner. Peroxide oxidizes some organic compounds instead of simply covering them with fragrance. But it can't solve liquid that is soaked into a porous base, a leak under the can, or a moisture problem in the floor. Patch test the plastic first, and don't use this method on metal finishes that may corrode. And before anybody gets mad about the bubbles, bubbling shows chemical breakdown and oxygen release. It doesn't prove that every germ is gone. Number 6. Reduce musty laundry odors. Towels can smell clean coming out of the washer and sour again once they warm up. That usually means residue, trapped moisture, or odor-producing material is still in the fabric. Peroxide may help on washable, color-fast materials, but it's not a substitute for washing and drying. Add 1 cup of 3% hydrogen peroxide to a load of washable towels or other dye-stable laundry, following the garment and washer instructions. Or pre-soak the item for 15 to 30 minutes in water with the peroxide before laundering. Wash afterward, rinse thoroughly, and dry the fabric completely. The oxidizer can break down some odor-producing organic compounds. It won't permanently remove an odor caused by a damp washer gasket, a wet hamper, or residue deep in upholstery. Avoid silk, wool, leather, dark colors, specialty finishes, and anything irreplaceable. Patch test a hidden seam for 15 minutes, then rinse and check the dry result. Life happens. A washable towel is a reasonable test. An antique quilt isn't. Number 5. Freshen a compatible hard surface. A sink, plastic trash lid, or non-porous counter may have a lingering smell from urine, food, smoke, or biological residue. Perfume only adds another smell. Peroxide can help when the residue is on a compatible surface and the source is removed first. Clean the area with detergent and water. Apply 3% peroxide and keep it wet for 5 minutes. Wipe, rinse with clean water, and dry. Use ventilation and don't spray it into the air or create a mist. This works by oxidizing some odor-producing compounds. It does not prove decontamination, and it won't reach contamination beneath caulk, flooring, upholstery, or drywall. If the smell returns after one cleaning, find the moisture or residue source instead of applying more chemical. Never mix peroxide with vinegar, bleach, ammonia, or an unknown cleaner. Peroxide and vinegar can form peracetic acid, a more corrosive oxidizer that can irritate the eyes, skin, and respiratory system. Rinse the surface before switching products. Number 4. Lift fresh blood stains. Fresh blood is a protein stain, and hot water can set it deeper into fabric. A peroxide treatment may help on white or color-fast, washable fabric, but it can also remove dye. Rinse the stain with cold water first. Blot away excess moisture. Apply a small amount of 3% peroxide to a hidden seam. Wait 5 minutes and rinse the test area. If the color holds, dab the stain with peroxide. Let it work for 1 to 5 minutes. Rinse thoroughly with cold water and launder according to the care label. Air dry until you know the stain is gone. Peroxide oxidizes some of the colored compounds in blood. It doesn't guarantee removal, especially after a hot dryer or iron has set the stain. Don't use it on silk, wool, leather, dry clean-only clothing, or a fabric you can't replace. For a valuable garment, the money-saving move is stopping early, not escalating to a stronger chemical. Number 3. Tackle selected sweat stains. Yellow underarm marks come from a mix of body residue, deodorant buildup, detergent residue, and fabric chemistry. A stronger bleach can damage the shirt, while scrubbing harder can spread the stain and weaken the fibers. On a washable white or color-fast garment, test 3% peroxide inside the hem for 5 minutes and rinse. If the fabric passes, dab enough peroxide to wet the stain. Let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes, rinse, and wash. Repeat only once after the first wash if the care label allows bleaching. Peroxide changes some colored stain molecules through oxidation. It can also change the dye. Stop if the fabric lightens, stiffens, or develops a halo. Don't mix it with chlorine bleach, vinegar, ammonia, or other laundry chemicals. A shirt isn't ruined because one treatment didn't work. Sometimes the stain needs detergent, an enzyme product, or professional care instead. Number 2. Brighten washable whites. Dingy white cotton can often be refreshed without reaching for chlorine bleach. Hydrogen peroxide acts as an oxygen bleach, which can break down some organic color compounds. That makes it useful for selected washable whites, not every fiber in the closet. Add 1/2 to 1 cup of 3% peroxide to a white laundry load, following the care label and washer instructions. For a pre-soak, use the same amount in a basin of water and soak for 30 to 60 minutes. Rinse, then wash normally. Don't combine it with chlorine bleach or unknown boosters. Long soaks and repeated bleaching can weaken fibers. Avoid silk, wool, leather, antique textiles, and dry clean-only clothing. A care label that says, "Don't bleach," ends the experiment. The bottle is inexpensive because the chemistry is simple. The fabric isn't inexpensive if the oxidizer removes the threads along with the dinginess. Number 1. Remove selected plant and drink stains. Grass, fruit, juice, coffee, tea, wine, and some vegetable stains contain color compounds that peroxide can oxidize. Grease is different. Peroxide isn't the first choice for an oil stain. Detergent is the better tool. Remove any solids and blot the stain. On a washable, white or color-fast fabric, patch test 3% peroxide on a hidden seam for 5 minutes. If the color holds, dampen the stain with peroxide, wait 1 to 5 minutes, rinse thoroughly, and launder. Keep the garment out of the dryer until you've checked the result. The fresher the stain, the better the chance of a useful result. Heat can set some stains, and peroxide can lighten the dye along with the mark. The safest target is a washable fabric whose care label permits bleaching. No method guarantees a clean result, and no method is worth risking silk, wool, leather, or an irreplaceable textile. Now comes the line that separates a useful cleaner from a viral cure-all. Most household peroxide is a 3% aqueous solution. That means about 3 grams of hydrogen peroxide per 100 milliliters of solution, with roughly 97% water. The label tells you concentration. It does not tell you that the liquid is harmless. Light, heat, contamination, metals, and unsuitable containers speed decomposition. That's why peroxide usually comes in an opaque amber or brown bottle. Keep it tightly closed in its original labeled container in a cool, dark, dry, ventilated place. Don't pour it into a clear drinking bottle. You could expose it to light, contaminate it, or mistake it for something safe to drink. A store-brand 32-ounce bottle has been listed at about $1, or roughly 3.1 cents per fluid ounce. A specialty peroxide cleaner listed at $4.84 for 32 ounces costs much more. If a household uses 1 bottle a month, the lower-priced option could save about $46 a year. That savings only counts when the target is an appropriate household surface or washable material. If you're finding this helpful, hit subscribe. The 7 skips are where the brown bottle causes the most trouble. Let's get back to it. Number 7. Skip wound cleaning. The old medicine cabinet habit was to pour peroxide onto a cut and watch it foam. That familiar reaction isn't proof that tissue is being cleaned safely. The National Capital Poison Center states, "Hydrogen peroxide was once used to disinfect skin wounds. This is no longer recommended." Peroxide is non-selective. Its oxidizing action can affect healthy cells involved in repair, and current wound care guidance favors gentle irrigation with clean running water or saline, followed by appropriate protection. Don't use household peroxide on a wound as a routine disinfectant. If a wound is deep, badly contaminated, won't stop bleeding, or shows signs of infection, get medical care. The surface boundary is firm. A tile can tolerate a bounded cleaning test. Living tissue needs first aid guidance. Number 6. Skip drinking peroxide. A bottle labeled 3% may look mild, but swallowing it can irritate the mouth, throat, and stomach. Poison control guidance describes belching, stomach upset, vomiting, and irritation. Larger exposures can cause burns, gastric injury, and oxygen gas complications. The CDC and ATSDR report that 1 milliliter of 3% peroxide can liberate about 10 milliliters of oxygen. That gas has nowhere useful to go inside the stomach. Case reports have documented serious complications after modest amounts of 3% product, including portal venous gas and hemorrhagic gastritis. Stronger products are far more dangerous. Food-grade peroxide is commonly sold at concentrations around 30% to 35%. That label does not make it safe to drink. Don't ingest peroxide in any concentration. Don't induce vomiting after a possible exposure. Contact poison control or emergency services, especially for breathing trouble, severe pain, repeated vomiting, eye exposure, or a concentrated product. Keep the bottle away from children and pets. Number 5. Skip the DIY mouthwash and tooth whitener. Hydrogen peroxide appears in some formulated dental products. That does not make raw household peroxide interchangeable with a tested mouth rinse or whitening system. Don't swish undiluted brown bottle peroxide, swallow it, or apply it repeatedly to your gums and teeth. Improvised exposure can irritate oral tissue, increase sensitivity, and lead to accidental ingestion. A published case report described chemical gastritis and colitis after repeated peroxide mouthwash exposure. Professional and over-the-counter whitening products control concentration, ingredients, contact time, and directions. A household cleaner doesn't give you those same controls. For whitening, use a dental product as directed or ask a dentist. The mouth isn't a cutting board. That's the boundary. Number 4. Skip treating pets. A pet's wound, ear canal, or skin problem isn't a dirty household surface. Peroxide can irritate tissue and delay healing, especially in an inflamed ear or open wound. Don't pour household peroxide into a pet's ears, apply it to a wound, or use it as a general skin treatment. Contact a veterinarian for species-specific care. Cats are especially important here. Veterinary poison control sources warn that peroxide can cause severe gastric injury in cats. There is a narrow veterinary distinction involving dogs and emergency vomiting decisions, but that isn't a home recipe. Whether vomiting is appropriate depends on the substance, the timing, the animal's health, and the risk of aspiration or corrosive injury. Call a veterinarian or animal poison control service and have the product label ready. A household cleaner isn't veterinary treatment. Number 3. Skip washing produce with it. The viral idea sounds logical. Stronger chemistry must mean cleaner food. Food safety doesn't work that way. FDA guidance recommends holding produce under plain running water and says soap, detergent, and commercial produce wash are unnecessary. Household 3% peroxide isn't automatically an approved produce washing product. Commercial food processing systems may use hydrogen peroxide or peracetic acid under controlled conditions. One supplied food safety reference identifies a regulated hydrogen peroxide produce sanitizer at no more than 59 parts per million. A 3% household solution is about 30,000 parts per million before dilution. Those aren't comparable home methods. Use plain running water for produce, scrub firm items with a clean produce brush, and wash your hands. Peroxide may be appropriate for some food contact surfaces only when the product label allows it and the surface is rinsed with clean water afterward. That is very different from treating the food itself. Number 2. Skip inducing vomiting. Don't use hydrogen peroxide to make a person vomit. Poison control advises against inducing vomiting after peroxide ingestion because vomiting can increase irritation and aspiration risk. It can also send the chemical back across the mouth and esophagus. If someone swallows peroxide, don't improvise a dose, dilution, or counter remedy. Keep the container or label nearby and contact poison control. Call emergency services for severe symptoms, breathing difficulty, collapse, or a concentrated product exposure. The same warning applies to pets, with one extra complication. Veterinary guidance differs by species and situation. Some professionals may direct a dog-specific emergency response, while cats face serious gastric injury risks. That decision belongs to a veterinarian or poison control professional, not a viral list. Number 1. Skip broad pest control. Peroxide can oxidize biological material. That fact gets stretched online into claims that a brown bottle is an insecticide, fungicide, soil treatment, plant cure, mold killer, and universal pest solution. Those are different claims. The EPA registers particular pesticide formulations for particular organisms, surfaces, concentrations, and label directions. Some peroxide-based products are registered for narrow antimicrobial or fungicidal uses. A generic 3% household bottle isn't automatically interchangeable with any of them. Don't spray it on plants, soil, insects, or a mold problem as a universal treatment. You could damage leaves, expose pets, leave an unapproved residue, or waste time while the actual problem spreads. Identify the pest or disease, then use a registered product according to its label, or contact a local extension service or licensed professional. And don't accept the final viral claim that 3% peroxide is harmless. At 3%, it can irritate eyes, skin, mucous membranes, and the digestive tract. It can bleach fabric, alter dyes, affect grout, and damage some finishes. Concentration is one risk factor. Route, amount, contact time, material, ventilation, and formulation matter too. The recognition check is simple. First, confirm that the bottle is ordinary household 3% hydrogen peroxide. Second, confirm that the target is an appropriate household surface or washable material. If the target is a wound, mouth, stomach, pet, food, or pest problem, stop treating the brown bottle as a universal solution. Use first aid, poison control, dental, veterinary, food safety, or registered pesticide guidance instead. One inexpensive bottle, 10 bounded household uses, and 7 viral detours to skip. Which one are you going to try first? Or is there a peroxide use I missed? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Pick 2 uses from the first list. Check the label, patch test the material, and see what the bottle can actually do. Then leave the 7 skips alone. YouTube thinks you'll like the next practical home savings guide. That's the savvy way.